A bombshell new escalation in the Republican investigation into President Biden's use of the AUTOPEN. The House Oversight Committee has released a new report. They're now demanding that DOJ look into every executive action the former president took while in office. News Nation's Hannah Brandt is following the latest from Capitol Hill. Morning, Hannah. What else are we learning from this report this morning?
Hillary, good morning. This is a 100-page report from House Republicans on the Oversight Committee, and in it they say they found evidence that former President Biden declined both mentally and physically. They also accused the former Biden administration staffers of covering it up. Now, this is something that Democrats disagree with, but in many ways the conclusions of this report aren't altogether unexpected. House Republicans have been saying for several months now these claims, but here's what's new. They're taking it to a new level by asking the Department of Justice to now investigate all of President Biden's executive actions. And that's because Republicans argue that pardons he granted might not be valid because they were signed with an AUTOPEN. In a statement, the Republican chairman of the committee, James Comer, wrote, Biden's inner circle sought to deceive the public, cover up his decline, and took unauthorized executive actions with the AUTOPEN that are now invalid. There must be accountability. Now, on the other hand, in a phone interview with the New York Times earlier this year, former President Biden disputed that the AUTOPEN was ever used without his permission. He said in that interview, quote, I made every decision. And this morning, a Biden spokesperson also pushing back against the report, telling me in a statement President Biden made the decisions of his presidency. There was no conspiracy, no cover-up, and no wrongdoing. Now, I'll note here, the Oversight Committee is also asking the Justice Department to look into some key Biden aides. Over the course of their investigation, the committee did interview more than a dozen Biden administration officials, but they're asking the DOJ to specifically investigate 3 of them. That's former White House doctor Kevin O'Connor, former Chief of Staff to the First Lady, Anthony Bernal, and former Senior Advisor, Annie Tomasini. All 3 of them invoked the Fifth Amendment in front of the committee. Republicans also taking it a step further with Dr. O'Connor, asking the D.C. Board of Medicine to review his license, saying the committee believes he misled the American public with the medical reports that he wrote about former President Biden. Now, I'll note that over history, other presidents have also used the AUTOPEN. That includes President Trump himself. But President Trump says he only used it on unimportant documents, Hillary.
All righty, Hannah, thank you so much. Appreciate that.